The man laughed loudly, and leaves kept coming out of his mouth. He was startled, but the woman beside him seemed not to notice. He tried to keep talking, but the leaves kept spraying out. Suddenly, he woke up from the dream. When he walked to the bedside, he saw that a large tree had grown outside, though he didn't know when. Thinking of the leaves from his dream, he quickly called a feng shui master. After observing, the master said the man was bound to the tree. Every time he spoke a word, one leaf would fall. When all the leaves fell, the man would die. Hearing this, he tried speaking, and indeed, one leaf fell with each word. He had no choice but to ask the master how to fix it. The master said all he had to do was remain silent. But his work relied on speaking. Was he supposed to become a mime? Frustrated, he returned to his room with an axe, trying to chop down the tree. The tree was unharmed, and he was thrown more than 10 meters, getting a wound on his waist. He had to rely on the feng shui master. With the man's money as incentive, the master decided to call a friend for help. It would take 3 days, so the man had to remain silent for that long. After receiving the call, he tried leaving notes in a notebook, but the leaves kept falling. Leaving home for breakfast, he couldn't speak or write, so he couldn't communicate with the clerk. Finally, he received a large breakfast. A blind man approached and asked if he could cross the street. The man tried to stay silent but accidentally made a sound. The blind man walked safely, thinking the honking cars were just people running a red light. Seeing danger, the man rushed to save someone. He was almost hit and lost his breakfast and even his last drink. Thinking about the leaves and his ruined breakfast, he felt very frustrated. His assistant, worried he had discovered the secret, quickly apologized.
It was the peach schnapps that tried to kiss your wife, not me, your wife, even though her lips felt like heaven.
He was so angry that he wanted to curse, but he could not speak. At that moment, the boss's secretary walked in and told him to go to the office immediately. A major client had arrived and wanted to test his persuasive skills. After waiting for a long time, he finally spoke one word. Unfortunately, 2 squirrels had climbed the tree and were running around the trunk. His legs began to move uncontrollably, making him dance in place. After a while, he twisted and ran toward the door. He failed to close the deal during the day, and he still had another client to meet at night. Since he could not speak, he had to let his assistant negotiate for him. The assistant simply carried the deal forward, without caring whether the client was satisfied. As expected, this business deal also failed in the end.